Now the questions that arises in our mind, that how to choose a right k. Or till now we have seen, we have called this is a k-means algorithm, but the questions that arises how to choose these things. So what is k here? K is simple. In k means k is simple the hyperparameter. K is simple the hyperparameter. The hyperparameter, how to choose the right k. What will be the right k? First thing, first the knowledge that we have to know. Very simple, the domain knowledge. Very simple, the domain knowledge. Now, what is domain knowledge? Now, how it is applicable here? First, let's take we will collect it the data that we have taken here as an example. Suppose let's take the product review. So, Amazon product review data. Amazon product review data we have collected. Okay, so because we have some employee or some worker in Amazon, so we know. So the review data, or it is a simple domain knowledge. You know the review data is maybe positive or it is maybe negative. So the polarity of the data, it may be positive or it may be negative. It may be positive or it may be negative. There have only two possibilities. So in such cases, k is equals to what? K is equals to 2. Here in this cases, k is equals to 2 here. Here k is equals to simple 2. So this kind of domain knowledge sometimes required to find the right k. Okay. Now let's try to understand through the next example. So to determine the right k, the next thing is simple the elbow method. That method already we have seen the in cross to find to in our cross validation technique. That's method already we have seen. So these methods are in general sometimes it's called the elbow method. Elbow. Okay, sorry, mistake. Elbow. Elbow method or sometimes called the knee method. Let's see why these things are called elbow or knee. Why these things are called elbow or knee. Okay, let's see this. So if you just remember the loss functions that we have used here, loss function that we have used, example this is the loss functions. These summations, first summation is for what number of clusters. This summation is for our number of clusters. Second summation is for the number of points in a single cluster. And these things is the distances. This is the simple distances. It's suppose let's take it centroid is madoid that we have in recent we have know the concept of. So let's take it's the madoid. In K it is SI. MI. It's madoid. This is the simple, and we want to minimize this loss. We want to minimize this loss. Have to minimize this loss function. So we have already seen this thing. Okay, this is the simple loss function. If you just plot these things, okay, plot this thing. Suppose it's the hyperparameter k. This value, suppose let's take this value is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Like the value. let's take here some value like that value, and the y-axis that we have taken loss value, or sometimes it's called the objective function value by OJ. This is the one kind of mathematical objective function. This is the objective function we have already seen. Of the objective value. If we plot this thing, then typically we got this kind of shape. Typically we got this kind of shape. Okay, means if you just visualize these things, this is one kind of elbow type shape or knee type shape, knee or elbow type shape. These are the knee or elbow type shape. Sorry for me. Because of these reasons, we call this technique as a elbow method or knee method, because of the shape that we have been generating. Typically that the shape we got this kind of shape. Okay, and now since the minimum value, the minimum value of the loss function, the minimum loss value will be here, somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here. So we will choose this is the optimal case. We choose this will be our optimal case. This one, this value will be optimal case. Suppose let's take here this value is, suppose let's take 5. Suppose let's take 5, not 5. Suppose let's take 7. So we can call that the best k is here. So for this example, best k is 5. Sorry, 7. Best k is 7. Okay, by simple. This is the one technique. Already we have seen this, but generally the shape we got this elbow type or knee type because of that technique are called the elbow method or knee method, because of this reason. That thing already we have seen in the cross validation. Mainly these two type of things. If you have some domain knowledge and in from our data set, if you already know what kind of cluster it have, then by simple the domain knowledge we can conclude it. Otherwise we will use this knee or elbow method to find what will be our best k. Okay, in generally these two methods are elbow to determine the hyperparameter of the k means. Okay, I think you got the idea. These are the mains two. It is already we have known. Okay.